I cut me a hunk of bread and try to drown my depression with carbs.
We're live.
Copy. You got the lobby?
Yeah, let me invite you.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab a sack real quick while we wait. Feel free to talk as much as you want to the audience here.
Yep, just did the same. Got me some nice fresh Italian bread from the store today.
All right, be right
Mm.
back.
All right, looks like we got 5J in the lobby here. G's out getting a snack. He'll be back in a couple minutes, I'm sure. Should be a very interesting matchup. These drops are going to decide who takes first place, is my understanding. Both teams pretty dynamic. I'd say 5J's kind of got stronger traders, and Mantra has a little more experienced Wolfpack. Obviously, 5J also has a number of very experienced, very good players, and some up and coming talent that's developing quite nicely. But the map pool is a sort of a nice mix of control and control and brawl strategies that are viable across this entire map deck.
And I'm back.
There is GRAM, the man, the myth, the legend. I don't see the Twitch stream up just yet, but
Okay, and I have to
it
go
will
again.
be up soon.
Give me a second. Okay. No, it should be live. I see some people commenting. There's an ad playing.
Don't see it up yet on Twitch myself.
Try to refresh.
Reload pitch again. Okay, there we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, Mokro did remind us that the server order should be NA, EU, NA, EU, NA.
Okay. I'm not gonna remember that, so hopefully they remind me again. Okay, so 5J versus Mantra. This is for third place, right? Or maybe second
Yep,
if
my
like there's a
understanding, whoever
5-0.
wins this match is gonna. Yeah, it could be. If there's a 5-0, maybe. Let's let me double check the gap there.
No, it looks like there's too much of a gap. So this is for third place,
Yeah, too big. 12-point gap. They are tied 42 to 42.
which is pretty hype because technically means this could come down to tiebreakers if they tie one of these drops and go 2-2, or just
Absolutely.
have a
And
nice.
actually,
But
the other remaining match, the fifth and sixth place match between 228 and Mesa, is also very close, 26 points to 22 points. So basically, all of the standings are going to get decided on the final week
yeah,
for Div A this tournament.
that is pretty hype. I'm not sure if anyone's casting Mesa and 228 or in DSC and Fidelis, but maybe check those out as well. So Team 1's locked here. What do you think we're gonna see from? We got an Alpha Bravo setup.
I would really expect aggression from Mantra here. I think they're very comfortable with mechs they've got pilots that are very comfortable with six-pack Jenners, with Blanners, that sort of thing, and they're obviously very strong on Force Colony and these lighter tonnages. I expect to see a lot of aggression from Mantra. 5J is very flexible, and it's not like you can't play control. So I'm not really sure exactly what they're going to do, but it might it might take something a little more flexible. We'll see.
Yeah. Do we know what the bands were?
Yeah.
Also, I'm getting an echo. I'm not sure. Do I have the stream up? No, I don't have the stream up.
Um,
Do you have the stream up?
I heard it. I do. Um, I heard that 5J missed their ban at the admin ban Stone Rhino, so that's one ban, but I don't know what the Mantra ban was.
Okay, so Stone Rhino's banned. We don't know what Machu band got him. Well, maybe we can figure it out just from seeing what these drop decks are.
Yeah, potentially.
I learned my lesson last time. I was looking at, I think it was Mantra actually. Their decks on I think it was Terra, and was like, these decks don't, they're not good because you could swap this mech for this mech and it would just be better. But it turns out that that mech was banned, so I looked like a fool.
Yeah,
and,
it turned out the article was banned the whole time.
Yeah. So
well, that makes two.
Learn my lesson there, and I'm gonna give these teams a benefit of the doubt and see if we can't figure out what they banned through deductive reasoning.
Much apologies to the viewers. The casters are firing from the hip a little bit right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so by the way, guys, I can't control the ads. I don't know how to do that or anything. So I apologize in advance when the end of a game inevitably gets cut off by an ad. What you can do is you can subscribe to MWLEs.
Yeah, there we go, baby. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much.
In all seriousness, I think there is like some ad blockers or something that you could look into.
All right, the drop chips are coming in.
All right, so from 5J over here.
5J side, yep. We got Incubus, Piranha. Two Incubuses, a Piranha, a Blood Asp, Ra, a Rancor, the Shadowcat, two Shadowcats, and a Hellfire. So kind of a mid-rangey potential to be kind of flexible. These Incubuses aren't Sabers, so...
This is the greediest deck I think you could ever run in this drop. I mean, they are full skirmish. They have no DPS, like no raw DPS. Like they have LMGs and laser bomb. So against the push, I think they would just die.
The good news for them is that my prediction about Mantra appears to be wrong. They've got Stormcrows, Vipers, Incubuses, and Wolfhound Grinner, Hellfire. They look pretty skirmishy as well, so...
This is a huge deck advantage for 5U in my opinion. It's not even close. Huge drop deck advantage. Those Wolfhounds should not be able to do very much work. I like this Incubus 5 with the beam lasers. Taking advantage of the new beams. But I think they're just going to get out skirmish.
In this matchup, I really like, 5J's. I think the Blood Asp is going to make a huge difference in this skirmish v skirmish matchup. And I don't like the Wolfhound pick very much.
So we saw that the Incubus just got that cap even though it was being contested. Incubus 5 actually has cap XL, and he barely got it. So already coming into play there. Really nice for Mantra to at least get that 3 cap. But we see 5J is just wrapping water side. It looks like they're going to grab that cap pretty soon, I think.
Mokor gets pretty heavily punished on the high ground there, 89% on Radio Tower.
Yeah.
Duke's bleeding on the Kappa side as well.
I think it's like, I don't know what Mantra's going to do here.
Early lead in percentages.
Even if you look at this Beam Laser Incubus, like, the only way I can actually do like decent against the Incubus 2 of like the heavy larges is either you catch in the open so you have a very like, sustained fight where you get the beams in for like 2-3 seconds, or you're outranging them. You're like shooting at like 700 meters, 600 meters. Basically the max range of the beams because they do fall off faster. And I don't think that's going to be happening here if 5J plays it right. I will say, though, they are getting beat up a decent bit, trying to get a Kappa here. And Moker has a nice angle from Radio Tower to deny that without getting shot, it seems. Vizowski really laying in with those beams. Windscape actually eating a lot of fire. His leg is almost open. So, Mantra's doing a good job. I think... Yeah, I mean, I think Mantra's playing better, even though I think they have a drop deck disadvantage. I think the 5J is trying to force the water too much. I feel like they should just play more inland and just out skirmish them, right? Like you don't have to rush the cap. Just like fire your weapons and kill them. They have such a huge firepower disadvantage compared to 5J down here right now. But like you can see, a lot of these mechs are not shooting their weapons. Like they have like a 6 versus 4 with these two Wolfhounds literally like just off in the distance, and they're losing trades. Well, I shouldn't say they're losing trades. It's like kind of
really shredded right now. That's pretty serious advantage for 5J or for Mantra in this match. They know that Blue Shadow Cat is weak now.
Yeah, and Dubik's damage, like he's at 75%, but it's pretty spread and it's on his torso, so it's less dangerous. Thing is, like if he gets all of his CT and like torsos open, he can just go off and play caps only, right? Compared to if you like have a one-touch leg, it's very dangerous making crossings and stuff. Okay, they are gonna pull the trigger. They're gonna pull the trigger, and this is actually where it's gonna play in Mantra's favor if they come back in time, because then they can basically be on top of them, and suddenly it looks a lot better for them, right? And these Wolfhounds with the medium pulse
and the Vipers engaging from the opposite flank here.
Yeah, Red in a perfect position to really put these medium pulse lasers to use. His teammate shooting him in the back a bit. Don't want that, but yeah, they forced them off, and honestly, the caps have been ticking. I would love to see Mantra, now that they pushed him off, go grab Bepsi. Like honestly, send one mech to do that. I feel like that's a game-winning play at this point, because you've already pushed them off. Like if they were gonna send it on you, they would have done it there, right? And they didn't. So it looks like they're even making the call to they're making the call to get FC, and I think they're gonna let Kappa go. So Kappa gets flipped. I think that's fine. They just need to pull out completely now, and then the Blast is not going to be able to do anything because it's pushed all the way over to Kappa. What's it going to do from Kappa? I guess they're going to keep rolling into.
I really like the Bloodass pick, but I really expected it to take a more controlly position near Epsilon. I really did. There's a lot of good high ground and ridge positions for that Bloodass to take. There are some really cheeky things you can do with the JJs on that mech, and I feel like 5J didn't really take full advantage of that in this drop.
Yeah, so it is getting some. They're getting some okay damage.
Capacity to be kind of the difference maker in this back and forth skirmishy fight.
Okay, so I think that Moker should be able to win this fight. Right, against the Piranha. Yeah, and he's got backup too. So they're definitely getting FC. In fact, they maybe can even gank this Piranha. I think Moker is going to go for it. He's going to look. Piranha needs to get the hell out.
It's pretty. Yeah, this Piranha needs to vaporize, because that skirmish.
No, if this Piranha dies, I
think one with this Wolfhound.
Okay, yeah, I think this looks. Mantra's doing a great job pulling, like trying to peel themselves back. I think they are going to slowly start getting picked. The Thunderbolt, for example, can't escape anymore, so they need to make a decision to either turn, and they do get that Piranha on the other side. I think they are going to hold their ground now.
The Mantra Wolfmech experience coming through right there. Really nice catch.
Yeah, and so I think what's going to happen is Mantra's going to get Epsi Gamma.
They have a mech advantage on this side, but you're dragging a Bloodass Bra with you in that numbers advantage, so it's kind of hard for you to get on top of Mantra.
It looks like we got a map special. I'm not sure when these invisible walls were added, if they were always there, but yeah. Windscape trying to play on top of this rock, but literally just gets denied by the map. I absolutely hate invisible walls, but sometimes necessary for OP spots. Not sure if that's one of them, but Windscape being forced down, that means he's out of the fight for a bit. He's going to come in from behind here. But they need to force the issue, because like look at the caps. I actually think they've already lost. Like,
yep, Mantra flipping FC and Gamma right now is a huge problem. 5J is on a timer.
They need to kill them now, but that's not happening. In fact, Windscape actually is the one that dies. So Wendler holding on to his life and doing a good job of it. All the damage is spread too. So like they're just. I think they've just outplayed them very heavily in every regard. In what I consider a drop deck disadvantage. See this Incubus too.
Shadowway's coming back to the home caps.
Yeah, this is their last hope.
Trying to put these back, but I'm not convinced that this Incubus can take the fight against this Viper.
Yeah, and he has to kill it. If they just walk past each other, it's definitely like it's not enough. And Moker's actually going to be the one to engage, I think. On the other side, they are mopping up a bit. Sorry, I'm trying to. Okay, so they're rolling in. I want to follow this fight down here though, because this is like. If Shadowways doesn't kill Moker, or at least leg him, the game's over, because he needs to kill and then cap Gamma. If Moker just ran off to Kappa, then it would be for sure a win. Instead, he's taking this fight and he's losing it. So that maybe gives a chance for 5J. But Shadowways, he gets legged. I was going to say he needs to stop on Gamma immediately. No, I think it's too late then, right? Yeah, Mantra's even going all the way back.
So Moker can just kind of sit back and scratch this guy if he steps on Gamma, so...
Yeah, we'll see.
Unfortunately, yeah, 5J having to aggress with this Blood Asp, it's the push just didn't happen fast enough, and it's looking like Mantra's gonna pull this out on caps.
Yeah, and I like the sneaky play from, we'll see who that is. From Dubix. This is a smart play to go back around for Sigma. I love it. Um, using that the top of the map there, most people don't know too much about even. And Moker also making, in my opinion, the wise decision to go for Kappa. He should have done this to begin with, but better late than never. The Incubus should just liver cap. Oh no, because the Incubus is legged, he can't. So yeah, this is a smart move from Moker. I actually think it's fine to get to leg it and then go. Actually, I take back what I said. I think this is a good play from Moker. He must have seen that the leg on the Incubus was like open when he decided to take that fight. And now he's gonna get out and go to Kappa, and they have nothing. They have no answer for it. So even if Monk did step on Epsi and get Epsi, it will not matter because they're gonna flip Kappa. I'm not sure if they look like they somehow saw Dubix. Okay, yeah, he's actually started shooting.
He's actually engaged with this Hellfire, yeah.
He's gonna kill him. Looks
so
like.
Unfortunately, the Sigma cap isn't happening. But
Dubix goes down. I think he wasn't.
Damage is too much for him to.
I think he was the Hellfire Canadian DJ was leg shielding, so Dubix was unable to get that leg. The red actually coming over to kill Shadow Ace though, and he's gonna get Gamma. So, am I calling this too early? Actually, no, because they're getting Gamma and Kappa. Yeah, Hellfire's gonna contest Epsi, goes down, but at least delays the cap. Wait a second. Wait a second. I might have actually called this way too early. Have 5J done it? Yeah, I think 5J won.
When Dubik's getting spotted and not being able to get onto Sigma.
Wow. I thought 5J I thought the caps were enough, like the points were enough in Mantra's favor, but no. That's actually crazy. I'm sorry. I was framing that completely wrong. I'm kind of baffled. The Blood Asp was fast enough to move over to Epsi, I guess. When I didn't think they'd be able to do that. Well, very close draw.
Like Mokor also, he just wasn't able to deny Gamma.
We were talking about the Blood Asp, but I mean, it farmed. It did farm, so he was getting angles on some things. I'm not sure. I don't think it was all at the end. I mean, ball played to 5J. I think there was a, again, I think they had a deck advantage, and I really like how Mantra played it. I guess it was just just a couple of mechs getting caught at the end and not able to keep it slow enough. But, I mean, like we said, if Mokar won that,
kind of at the last second.
If Mokar had won that fight against that Incubus 2, then the game definitely would have ended if they didn't flip that cap, like the Incubus 2. So I would say that, who was that Incubus? Was it Shadow Ace? Definitely saving it for his team there.
Yeah, that was Shadow Ace.
Because yeah, he was
Shadow Ace pulling out another one for his team. You know, he pulled out that bog drop last time we were casting a 5J game.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, it was really well done. Even though he got legged, he was close enough to the cap, was able to step on it, and the Viper had to leave. I didn't think they had enough speed to spread out at the end. But
I really thought Mokor was going to be able to just take that fight and wreck that Incubus, but I guess he skirmished a little too much as they were coming towards the cap.
Yeah, I think he had blood. I mean, you even said earlier that he had lost some percentage, right? He lost like 11% right at the beginning of the match, for example. So maybe just slowly getting beat up over time. He was skirmishing on Kappa, like you had pointed out. So
true, but the percentages on the Incubus and the Viper were very similar coming into that terrain, and I don't know. I felt like I favored the Viper in that engagement.
Yeah.
If you just honestly just NSR him, like the Incubus with the heavy larges is never going to out DPS you with all those LMGs and the medium lasers. I feel like the Viper wins that every time.
Hard call to make. I think that after he got the leg and was almost one touch CT, I probably would have left too, to be honest. Especially since they probably called that they were bringing the other mech to clean it up. I mean, even I was spectating and I thought Mantra had it, so I probably would have made mistaken calls as well as far as what to do there. Actually, I'm rewatching it right now.
The map was
on the stream.
The map was very split and very, very mixed up. So
yeah, the percentages of that Incubus and in the Viper when they engage were basically the same. I wonder if it was just a really good burn from Shadow Ace, or if it was the damage was more spread on the Incubus. I mean, obviously the heavy larges do have a bit of a range advantage there too in that fight.
We do need to change the server to EU,
okay.
And Yeah, unfortunately, like I saw the percentages, but I didn't get the specific readout on the components there. So I don't know. Maybe Mokor had like a side torso he needed to protect or something like that.
Yeah. Hmm.
And Mantra's locked.
I mean, I'm watching this again on stream, and I still can't believe that 5J won that. I'm like looking at it right now. It's like
I can't either, honestly.
they have 660 caps with a 2 cap. Even while they lose Gamma, the Viper is going for Kappa, and Dubix is going around the back for Sigma, and they have 2 mechs on Epsi, with a Blast solo pushing into it. Maybe maybe the play was to just no, because because they lose that other cap.
I don't know.
No, 5J played it really well at the end.
It,
5J played it really, really well at the end, just spread it out properly. No doubt.
They spread it properly. The legged Hellfire at the end got the kill on Dubix. Dubix got himself seen, and that about put paid to it. But for the moment, I really thought Dubix was going to sneak around, get Sigma, and then Mokor was just going to rat that Incubus as he tried to cap Gamma, and that 5J was never going to get that cap back, But
Yeah.
it didn't wind up working out that way.
I think it was the full caps as well, because I'm looking at this. Like, if Kappa was only sliver capped, if Gamma was only sliver capped, then it probably would have been fine. But because those were full capped, it took so long to flip them. Compare that to Epsi, or maybe Epsi was full cap too, but like, yeah. Anyways, focusing on the next drop. Don't want to linger too long. So side swap. You think that 5G will bring another like ER large mech, or do you think that like favors the side that has kind of the water spawn?
I think that definitely favors the water spawn. I'd be kind of surprised to see that coming out of the west side here.
Yeah, I mean, you could put it up on radio tower maybe, but it's really easy to jump up and kill that. Like, you have to be really brave, I think, to bring a deck that like they just brought onto this side. I already think that it was like really greedy and they had a deck advantage and they kind of got lucky that Mantra decided not to full send with Brawl. But yeah, I really doubt they would play the same type of game from this side when you don't have like the open water to kite into and like things as they're like trying to Brawl rush you. It's like more than a gamble. It's literally just like if they bring anything aggressive that wants to go legs, you will just auto lose if with a deck like that on the other side. I think.
100%.
So what do we got? Oh, that's interesting. Black Knights.
Mantra side looks like a mid-range Lasvon push from Mantra. Triple Blackjack, double Stormcrow, Wolfhound, Viper.
It is large pulse, ER medium Black Knights. Okay, and Cyrus are the normal. Yep, normal DPS. What's on the Article of Twos?
A little sort of mid vom with some DPS, and also the Article of Twos. I like this drop deck from 5J quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, ER large on the
to receive aggression and also to counter push in the event that the enemy deck is too greedy.
Yeah, I think the ER large on the Articulus could come into play here if they play like water side and just kind of harass them off. So it makes sense to me. Just like as like a light harassment where you're focusing on the Serms. They need to be careful in Theta. They should have seen the spot, but actually did. Yeah, they didn't grab Gamma. They should 5J should see Mantra to not grab Gamma, and they should not be walking to Theta right now. Like that is a very obvious sign. If your opponent didn't grab Gamma, then obviously they're just sending it, right? They're doing someone aggressive. Pull back, make sure you don't get caught on Theta.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Shadow Ace is doing the right thing. He scouts it and he just immediately starts fucking off. So the Archegos are going to come back up, and the Black Knights are going to post up high, and they're going to try to receive this. So you said it was laser bomb push, though. Let me click some of these mechs. Yeah, like Blackjack 1x, that's binary ER medium. So this is not like a SRM brawl push. This is going to be really interesting. I actually think that...
on the shout, beams on the Stormcrows, by the way.
Yeah, this is actually, like, funny enough, 5J needs to be the one to push, or they're going to get completely dominated in the trades here. And those Osiris's can push.
Dude, they have the mechs to counter engage. The Osiris's and the Wolf and the Articles both can.
I think
Mantra's enemy deck.
Mantra's gonna get slammed here. They're too far up for what they're doing. Like,
okay, here we go. Here comes the counter engage from 5J. Put these Osiris DPS to work. Once these Blackjacks heat cap, there's not anything Mantra's going to be able to do against the the insane DPS
Yeah,
from Mantra or from 5J's Wolfpack.
they're trying to send it in. They're kind of trickling in though. Like look at this Arctic Wolf way in the back still. The red goes down first though. This is a
Yeah, it
really good
really
sign.
needs to be pressing. You can't be firing your lasers at this point. The fight is the article. If you need to be SERMs all the way in.
All right, so they're trying to kite back. They need to focus the light mechs. Like screw the Black Knights. Like kill these Osiris's in your face and then deal with the Black Knights. 2-2 right now. It's kind of close. Windscape I think is going to be the next one to go down. Ivazoski at the same time roughly. Yep.
Ivazovsky goes down. Arctic Wolves are fully engaged now, which is good. This Wolfhound's not going to be far behind.
Gwendler shut down. I think they missed him for a second. But yeah, he's going to go down now. And both Moker and JBV just kind of focusing on Weapon Master. I think that's a okay play, but yeah, I really need to leg him. Weapon Master probably should not go in by himself here. Probably shouldn't do it. Can they leg him? No, they can't. His
Definitely a
legs aren't
mistake
open.
to give him X here, but he's going to slip away. And in the meantime, 5J's working on a cap advantage, so it's not like they're on a clock or anything like that. They can sit back and let these two Mantra mechs do whatever they want in the corner of the map.
Yeah, and
There's
they're
not
just
even
gonna
any
kill
reason
him.
to expose to him.
But
Yeah,
I
at
think
this point,
Mantra like
either way, right?
I think Mantra was just a bit too greedy. I think like Wolfhound. I don't know about that one. Like I think
Yeah,
if you had like a full DPS, even like Osiris, like your own Osiris, it would have been.
they were way too greedy. Their positioning and their lance deployment with their mech, all of their movement initially was it's almost the movement you would expect on a much more aggressive deck. And they had decent DPS, but I mean, if you're running laser bomb at blackjacks, you can't be all in like that. You have to scout and see what the enemy has first. And I can't imagine anybody seeing three of those Osiris's on the enemy team and thinking it's a good idea to push them with blast bomb. So I think Mantra really made that move without enough scouting info.
I wonder if they just assumed they'd run something similar like they ran on the other side, where they was gonna have more skirmish. And they just wanted to be aggressive. I think they like after they put themselves in that questionable position where they were too far forward. I think they played it pretty good again, but like, I mean, it's just a DPS check. Like, what are you gonna do with three Osiris's
Yeah,
and two Arctic Wolves running at you and going for your
even
legs?
even
Like,
even though 5J's counter engage was a little bit scattered, a little bit hesitant, like the raw numbers don't lie once you get engaged with those SRMs and HMG mechs. They're or
it's actually
blackjacks. They shoot once, they're hot.
I just
See
got
you, buddy.
point out as well. It's actually like it ended up being a bad thing that they got early shots on those Black Knights. Like they were out trading the Black Knights, but at what cost? Because they didn't kill them, and then they're heat capped when these Osiris start running at them. It's like
How are you going to leg any of these short range mechs when you're heat capped on the lowest DPS mech on the enemy team, right?
yeah, you're not. I mean, they did get a bunch of them again. Like I think they did a good job pulling back out of the Black Knight's range, um, kiting back and going for legs on. They switched targets immediately and they did everything right again after they had pushed up into like a questionable position. It kind of similar to the first drop in my opinion, where they like probably a drop deck disadvantage because I definitely think that if they had brought what 5J brought, like if you give 5J's deck to them to Mantra, and they push 5J's deck in the first drop, they just win that, right? In my opinion, like the raw DPS check would have worked as well against 5J's first deck with that like Eero Large Blood Asp and like the Incubuses with like LMGs and heavy larges. So maybe just like not thinking that 5J would bring a deck like that, like with the Osiris's, like an aggressive deck. We should keep track of. I was gonna say, do you have any guesses as to what got banned? Obviously not blackjacks. Not Arctic Wolves.
It's kind of hard to tell if it was an assault ban. It's kind of hard to guess at this point, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm just wondering.
But
Definitely not
Reflections Tech may
Vipers.
tell us a little more here.
Yeah. I wonder if it was. I wonder if it was Stalkers. Because I feel like you could like. I guess they wanted the Arctic Wolves to the air large. I was gonna say maybe you could bring Stalkers instead of Black Knights, but nah, that doesn't really fit for what they were doing. Yeah, I don't know.
Not listed on the capture sheet somewhere, is it?
It might be. I don't actually know. Um, I could snoop around, I guess, after this. There's something else I want to point out. I think 5J has no more incubuses, right? They used them all? Or do they have one left? I know they used two in the first drop,
I
right?
believe I believe they have one. Yeah, they have one left. They
Okay,
didn't
and
use 3 in the first drop. They used to.
all right, and they used one Shadowcat, so they have two Shadowcats, one Incubus. I think those mechs are both pretty good for Grim, so. Do you think either of these teams will push on Grim? With either Laser Bomb or like SRM Crab?
There's potential for to run some sort of mid vom on Grim. I know that like various iterations of 5JDX on Grim Plexus in the past have been a big fan of like LPL mechs, but of course the meta has changed quite a bit since then.
Yeah, like Clan LPL.
As for Mantra, I would kind of expect Mantra to play a typical control match on this map. You know, I think that their Wolfpack pilots are a lot more experienced than some of 5J's, and on these larger maps, whenever something could come down to like a 1v1 or a 2v2 on a side cap, that's obviously a lot more important. So I kind of expect Mantra to play to their strengths on Grim.
Yeah, I definitely think that like even though it's two up in 5J's favor right now, this map favors Mantra more, in my opinion.
I believe so as well.
So maybe they can clean up both Grims, and we'll have a final drop. We'll see. I mean, we're gonna drop all of them regardless. But yeah, if 5J wins this, that means they win the match and get third place for the tournament.
Yep. So Mantra on match point. The heat is on, 100%.
Just get some angles out. Yeah, I think that most of the high places like this were blocked off with invisible walls sometime recently. So I don't think we'll see anything like too spicy like that. Used to be able to like get a ear large summoner up to like here. Quite good for Overwatch in the map. Anyways, what we got?
All right, yep. And Mantra with the Black Lantern, Cap, Spider, and Marauder Exi deck, Stalker. So that looks pretty control-y to me. 5J also with the pretty typical control deck, Double Direwolf, which isn't something I've seen in quite a while, but could be really good on Grim. We'll see. And of course, the third Incubus coming out with a couple Black Lanterns.
I am immediately concerned
some of these mechs.
for Mantra. Two Cap Spiders? I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
A little bit greedy.
That is exceptionally greedy. I feel like if they, yeah, we'll see. But that spider doesn't win against like anything on a cab, right? But one Gauss 3 or large on a Hellfire is also kind of greedy.
Interesting builds on these blanners from 5J. ER mediums and LMGs, like full skirmish blanners.
There's their last Incubus, by the way. Heavy large light machine gun again.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, ER medium.
Nothing wrong with that mech. Super strong on this map. Obviously, not very tested, but Beam's probably kind of strong on this map. HLL strong, and you can run ERL. You can pretty much run whatever you want on the Incubus on this map.
Oh, they're going to get a bunch of free damage into Mocha right now. This is actually really bad. He's got no one anywhere near. If he goes left here, he's going to die. Like, Windscape is going to catch him. Does not, though. It makes the right call. He is going to blade more, but I think he'll live. His legs are kind of getting open, but he should round the corner without getting legged. He's out of range now. He's not going to get legged.
Boy.
Yeah, that's not what you want, though.
Right leg open, left leg red. That's really bad.
I'll tell you what's going to decide this game. It's these landers on the flank here. Can they pick a mech on Amber? I'm assuming they have ECM as well. I think I would have liked to see them go left there, but Canadian actually looking for them. Does he see? He sees them. He sees them. No, he doesn't. Oh, he doesn't quite see them. I'm not sure if it's the ECM or... now he does. Now he does. Okay, that is really, really bad for Mantra. So yeah, immediately I love this movement from 5J. Immediately after seeing that, they start pushing for Gamma because like there's only a Cap Spider over here because you just saw their two laners on the other side of the map. Exactly. Maybe there's like an assault mech, but that's just food. So Avizowski gonna do the right thing. He's gonna run for the hills here, but that means they're gonna lose Gamma. And honestly, they're losing Theta too, so they're gonna be 4-capped, and they don't have a way in. Gwendler already down to 80%. Looks like his side torso is almost popping, almost open. JBV
It looks
taking
like
some
5J
damage.
is just running away with this drop, huh?
I think the drop's over. The laners needed to get in there. That was their only hope because what are these cap fighters gonna do now? Like they can't fight. Like there's no counter push potential and you're four capped.
And the rest of Mantra is just kind of in Zimbabwe here over west of gas station. They're not really near any cap point. They're not really controlling the map. I have a hard time imagining how they're going to get back into this fight.
Like maybe if you had won trades, but you not. Your 4L is almost open. Like
Yeah,
sure your landers can run to Sigma, but what does that do? Like you turn a one cap into a two cap. You're still three capped. And they could maybe even catch the landers if they want. Like they can do whatever they want, knowing where these landers are and that they're going to the core of the map. They're winning trades. This is hopeless for Mantra. I think this game is 100% over. Gwenlar already about to lose his side torso. And like, look, what is this spider doing? Like, what is the point of this? Your landers are already going to Sigma. Like, you can see how useless these spiders are. Like, huge mistake to bring two of those, in my opinion. Like, one is already pushing it, but two, that's just a mistake. No way around it. Iwazowski gonna try to make a play. He's actually pushing up to try to make space for his 4L, which I like. His 4L and Stalker. XC incredibly tanky, and if he can get in to use those micros and small pulse, that's how you bring a game back, right? Is you do aggression somewhere. Canadian DJ is also kind of beat up. Side torso is open. Monk. Side torso open. Yeah, nothing critical though on the side of 5J. I think they're just gonna reconvey. Oh no, the laners cannot do this. Oh, yeah, no, this is really bad.
Walking themselves down to the low ground, surrounded by skirmish mechs and
yeah, they
overwatched
just
by ER large. That's looking really tough for Dubix and Zored here.
yeah, Windscape is just gonna get free shots, and they're gonna get like they're both going to die without doing anything. I think. Yep, the red legs. I think Dubix is going to fall momentarily.
That's pretty much it, man.
I mean, Iwazowski making a play. He's doing what he can for his team, but I don't think it matters. See Moker with his one large X-Pulse. Let's see what he can do. I don't think it's a lot, but maybe he can jump on Canadian and win this fight. It is like Gaussier large, I guess. But nope, gets legged.
Nope.
I don't even think he gets... I don't even think he's going to get the side torso, to be honest. Oh, Canadian DJ. Maybe. No, be shielding. I think he missed his Gauss. Okay, does get halved. Well, I guess the spider might end up... Oh, okay. Have the Incubus flank around. Dubix actually didn't die. I mean, that's something. But is he legged? No, but he's, like, going to be legged. And their 5J lights are just moving up and cleaning up the assaults here. Not a single death on 5J. I think it's pretty obvious that the game's over at this point. So it is going to be 5J coming in third place. I'm kind of sad because I honestly feel like all three of these were like drop deck losses. In a way, I mean, I think they probably could have like, you can always play better, but this drop deck especially, I think, was just bad. I can't say it any other way. I mean, what do you think? Do you agree with me?
The double cap spider is pretty rough. You need to have some sort of ability to counter engage and take a fight of some kind of side cap or gank somebody or catch somebody, and those spiders are never going to catch anybody.
I don't understand the point of double cap spider because, like, do you think they're gonna leave like all four caps unattended? Like, what is the point of having more than one? Like, one cap spider, even again on a map that's so large that most of the time you're running, the cap XL doesn't really make a difference, anyways. Unless you're like talking about Epsi or something, but they weren't. Yeah, I don't know. I can't rationalize it in any way. It's like, do you just think you're never gonna have to fight on even on a side cap? Like, they're just gonna stay in the middle of the map and let you like four cap them with cap spiders for free? I mean, it must have worked in scrims or something, right? But yeah, well, I just don't understand it. Let's see what the damage numbers are. Yeah, not what you want to see with your laners.
Oh boy.
I mean, that one's, I think Moker farmed like probably like 90, 100 damage off the Hellfire at the end, having it, and then it's like getting some damage.
And after the game was already over.
Yeah, way after the game was already over. I think Iwazowski, his damage wasn't great, but he did the only thing that like he could do. Like, I think he actually played that drop really well, rotating out of that early cap and not getting caught, and then making a play for his team to try to do something. Maybe make an opening for the landers, maybe do anything, but just wasn't enough. So I think the assaults on Mantra actually played fine. It's just a drop deck fail, and unfortunately, everything that they kind of were gambling on didn't work out. Like the spider wasn't able to get FC early and got a bunch of leg
Yeah,
damage into it. The lanners didn't get their flank off, which could have like saved the game if they like backshot something. But they were the Hellfire was looking for them, so they got seen.
it's really unfortunate when you take a drop deck that a little weak and a little greedy to begin with, and then basically everything goes wrong for you that could go wrong. That's what happened to Mantra in that game.
Yeah. No, I mean like I think that like maybe that drop could play in different ways where it works out for them. Like maybe the Cap Spiders distract and the laners get a pick, right? When they're like focused on these Cap Spiders on the edges of the map, maybe they jump on the Hamburger Hill mix and kill them. Maybe that was how it worked out in the in their scrims. But I think it's kind of obvious though. Like where could their mechs be, right? They took Kappa. Like where could their mechs be if they have a spider that's running off Epsi and their assault mechs are like to the right of Kappa? So I mean, 5J doing a good job looking for them. I'm not sure who was playing the Hellfire. I think it was Canadian. We were
Yeah.
looking at him. He was doing a great job, like looking. But yeah, I mean, not
This
much
thing
else to say.
can't get played because
I hope Mantra
all I do is
doesn't.
make sure they don't get somehow backstabbed on that hill. It's going to be kind of tough for Direwolves to lose trades on Grimplexus, I feel.
Yeah,
At least
especially
in a meaningful
against.
enough way for the other team to get back into it after you've already attacked the enemy cat mechs into the ground, right?
Yeah, and you've taken like a bunch of early caps, and they have two cap spiders. They can't really fight you. Um, I hope Mantra doesn't like throw in the towel. I hope they give us two good drops at the end here, and I hope they bring mechs that can actually fight for this next Grim one, and not just cap spiders.
Well, the good news about that is that they're almost out of spiders, so they can't bring those again.
Yes, okay, that is good news.
I can see one, but there's just so many other mechs that I'd rather take. I mean, I'd rather take a Locust. Even though like a Flea, I don't feel is actually very good in the meta right now. I'd rather take a Flea on this map.
Yeah, I
There's
mean,
so
I
many
agree
other
with you.
guys.
I 100% agree with you, but like I think that you can like if it's a comfort mech and maybe you really want to get
Yeah, if
FC,
it's comfortable
I
and
can
you
see
got one
one.
pilot who really wants to do it, yeah, maybe one. But again, other mechs can do that same job better
Yeah,
and
like
give you
imagine
more options.
imagine if they had like a saber in that game. Like maybe
Yeah,
they can turn
exactly.
things around,
You
right?
have like a
Like you have that one cap spider that is running the caps while you play 6 for 7 with like DPS, and you push that hill, and maybe you get a pick or two. And the cap spider has open legs to just maybe it can get all the side caps in the meantime, right? Maybe the laners don't have to do that crazy wrap around through the open. Both teams locked is gonna send it, but sorry by the way for if viewers feel like I'm being too harsh. I actually have very high expectations of both these teams. Both these teams have actually shown they're quite good, and they've actually taken drops off of my team. Like both these teams took a drop or two off of Fidelis and DSC, which are the two top
various,
teams right now. So
yeah,
like
with various different types of strats too.
yeah, so I just like I think highly of both these teams. So seems like that is a little bit disappointing, and I'm gonna be a little bit harsh, but I think again like it can be easy to fall into something like that. That maybe like in hindsight or like looking from a third perspective can be like, oh wow, this was a bad idea. What were they thinking? But if it worked in scrims really well, then maybe not so obvious, right? I've definitely had that happen before to teams I've been on where like
I was gonna say it
something works
definitely
really well
happened
in
to us last
scrims.
year.
Yeah, something works really well in scrims, and
We're like,
then like
hey, you know what about this neat cheesy spot for this Crusader on the purple map? And
yeah,
it just
yeah,
gets
there you
stuck in
go.
the match, right? I mean, it happens, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, anyway, moving on to this next match. 5J coming in. We've got three Vipers, all three Vipers coming out for 5J here. The last Lanner. Longbow overcharge, and it looks like they're pushing straight for Kappa. Very aggressive movement, and their other two mechs are going for Gamma.
Okay, so this is a lot better of a
It's
deck
interesting. So
from Mantra, in my opinion. They have the one spider still, which again I'm not a huge fan of, but one of it's okay. Especially if they're going to play hard for Epsi, because it is great at getting the Epsi cap, which is so easy to deny, and you can get so punished trying to step on it. Mark II is an interesting spot.
yeah,
What do you how do you feel about this spot?
it- hmm.
It's kind of
I don't
far.
think he should stay there. We'll put it that way. He's way too far away. Like not exerting enough map pressure. He needs to move up to Hamburger.
Oh, I was gonna.
Kind of, I think the point of taking a Mark II on this map is that it has the speed to take the map aggressively, right?
Yeah. Well, the one thing I was gonna say though, if you have this back here, it's both a liability and an asset to dealing with this Kappa aggression because I mean, look at these lines towards Kappa that it would have sitting up here.
Mm,
Like it's gonna be shooting them at like 1100 meters. If you pull back,
5J is masking. 5J is masking their force by only sticking one mech on Kappa. So Mantra doesn't have any reason to believe that there's this many mechs behind Kappa at the moment.
yeah. So they are doing a split push. This is a push, by the way, from 5J. But it's like, what do these Vipers have? ER mediums. So it's like a mid-range push. It's not even like a full brawl push. Overcharge has like binary vomit. I'm guessing, yeah, the Lanner's even ER medium. So this is full mid-range from and long range from 5J, but they're doing a very interesting split. I don't like this personally because I feel like on a map this big, if this was scouted, they just push one side and you lose. But they haven't done this, so this could work for 5J.
Now. They just shot lasers at Dubix up here on the hill. Dubix is returning fire. And let's see, is Mantra gonna catch on to the fact that they're split and push one side?
Red actually like he's just like looking. I think they have an inkling. Like, wait a second, something's off here. Like, not all of them. They're probably calling. Where's their assaults? Where's their assault? That's such an easy call and question to pose. It's like, where's their weight?
And yep, Red is aware of the Xyz now.
Yep, and they see them, and so now that like 5J is pivoted, so they are maybe going to look for Red. It kind of looks like they're just going to send him. Yeah, that's maybe they're hesitating. Okay, they stopped. I think maybe they could have caught him there, but so it's just gonna be like a mid-range trade game over Hamburger. This is almost like something you see at a quick play in a way. Could devolve into where they're like shooting over the top of Hamburger from either side. Cap Spider, by the way, is like I think was trying to harass this longbow, but maybe he's just gonna try to get Kappa. Also needs to be careful because he's gonna get backshot. Yeah, he is.
The Battle Master gonna get picked here.
Yeah, he's actually moving forward. He's definitely dead. Think they're getting some damage off for it at least. Wonder if the Red's gonna push this Xe. I feel like he's setting up to do that. Yeah, so we're gonna get a 1v1 over here. I'm gonna try to keep. No, okay, Ivazovsky's gonna help him, but that means they're really weak on this other side with its 4 mechs to 6, right? Winters is definitely gonna get picked here. I think. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Dubik's almost lagged, it looks like. They're just taking a lot of damage trying to run away from this when it's like mid-range. I think they read the deck wrong. I think they thought like it was a full brawl push. Honestly. And they needed to like run away from this more.
I mean, based on how conservatively they acted, yeah.
This isn't over yet though, because they are gonna get this Xe on the other side, I assume, right? Yeah. So it's still winnable, I think. Especially because they do have I think JBV and Mocha are gonna get out here.
Strongly, yeah. Strongly favoring 5J here. Mocha is bled. I mean, we've got the Cap Spider. This game could potentially come down to caps, but
okay.
Even then, I feel like 5J is just going to mop up the rest of this fight pretty convincingly, and they're not on that much of a timer. They're only down, 20 caps. So
Dubix gets legged in the back. I think that's
cap points.
Probably seals the deal. We'll see though. Maybe they can outplay them.
Right through it then.
Spider is gonna do spider things. It's gonna run off to Gamma, which means that they have 3 mechs to hold the line here. We'll see. Maybe they trickle in. Maybe 5J trickles in. Makes a mistake. Monk looks like he's just gonna look at the top of the hill. I think it'd be very, over aggressive to push past this by himself, but we'll see. Maybe they're just feeling that confident. I think this move is like incredibly overly aggressive. Like if they were down here, they could just pick him and maybe start turning this game around, but not the case. Okay, take some questionable trades. Open CT one shot now. Dread gonna start cycling back. Actually, damage is very spread on Dread, so not too bad there. Cougar maybe extending in by himself, takes a bunch of damage. His leg's almost open. I mean, that's a good beginning to come back here, because the spider's off capping during that, so they do have the 3 cap.
One touch CT.
Dread open CT now. Okay, 5J is opting to get the caps, so they're sending a mech to Sigma, and they have that mech on Kappa. So the spider's gonna go all the way around.
Bad move. I don't think it's a bad move, but Windscape is just sitting over here on Kappa, so I'm just not sure how the Cap Spider gets any of these side caps now. If the 5J mechs just spread out and sit there.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that there's like 100
Mantra can
kph.
get a cap advantage again.
I kind of forgot there was 100 kph longbow to come in and mop up. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot because Smoker goes down to it and I wasn't even looking at it. Yeah, the longbow, not a mech I'm super familiar with, but this is the overcharged Scott Mask and it can get a huge engine, so I imagine it's going like 100 kph. I'm kind of actually just wanna. How do I? Oh man, I don't.
It's 4X is just sprinting away.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so it's 77 without mask. With the mask, yeah, 100 kph. So it's just coming in, having a great time with the small lasers, with the vomit. Just gonna run them down. Honestly, I think it's faster than the Hellfire. Depending on what that Hellfire's build is, it can be faster. Certainly faster than Xyz.
They're doing the right thing by splitting here. I expect DJ to still take this fight, though.
Yep. Small laser's pretty good.
Yeah, there we go. Some of the best damage per heat in the game. Those numbers don't lie. There we go. 5J tightens the news. It goes up 4-0.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was not a drop deck loss. I think that was a maybe not understanding the deck you're up against and thinking like you need to run away from a brawl push. I think if they had just held their ground and traded, they would have been okay.
Oh my goodness. The red with the 972 farm.
Oof, yeah. I mean,
really nice performance out of that Hellfire, but
yeah, he farmed that
the
Xe.
scouting and the team movement to counter what 5J is doing there with the split, you're just gonna get picked apart, and that's what happened.
I mean, but look at how much total damage they have, and they only have 1 kill. I think that's like very telling, especially on like max like Vipers. Like you're spreading a lot. Unfortunate. They probably got like 500 something because he had hags, right? 500 something off the Xe alone, maybe more. Xyz can tank quite a bit. Yeah, no, well played by 5J though. I mean, they've played today really, really well. I think pretty textbook for their drop decks. Maybe a mistake here and there, but definitely pretty solid overall. So we'll see what map we're going into at the end here, based on bans. What do you think these teams will ban, based on how this has gone?
I'm really, really not sure, to be honest. I could see either one of these teams putting forward a strong drop deck and strap for any of the map options, to be honest.
I'm gonna guess that Mantra doesn't want Polar because they've used all the cap spiders.
Maybe 5J doesn't want Vitric. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends. Like, which team do you think wants to trade, and which team do you think wants to push more? Also, we pick Hibernal. Okay. I guess I missed the front end of this the ban because I came into the lobby late. Is it NA again now?
Correct. NA for drop 5.
Okay, I'm gonna swap these teams. Okay, so we are on Hibernal. Question I have for you is, do you think one of these teams will full send it with the Serms?
I mean, I would love to see either team do that because I think it's the strongest deck and it's one of the strongest maps for it. It's definitely a brawl push meta. Brawl is the strongest strategy, and Hibernal is one of the best maps for a brawl push in the entire game. So, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I will favor whichever team decides to just hold W on this map. I'll favor them every time. There's a reason we took that in the last game of the season in the finals against 5J last year, and it wasn't because we were trying to keep them honest for the next drop.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a raw DPS check. We kind of saw that in the second drop,
It
right?
really is.
Raw DPS check is really strong right now. I definitely think that
Yeah, exactly.
both these teams. Well, I'll just be real. I came into this saying like, oh, I think
You
Mantra's
know,
Lights maybe were more experienced. I think you said that as well. The 5J
I
Lights
I
have
really
just
firmly believe that.
like I think overall, I mean like they've just played better, right? I mean these
Well,
big maps, like their
listen.
macro decisions have been better.
You can you can have one of the best independent decision making lights in the game in Mokor, right? But if you stick him in a cap spider on Plexus, you're not leveraging that advantage, in my opinion, right?
Yeah, I don't disagree at all.
So you're kind of handicapping yourself in a way. If you think about it from Mantra's perspective on that first Grim drop. That's just an example. I will say though that 5J picked Hibernal, but they did use a lot of the really strong push lights. They used all their Osiris's. They've used 2 out of 3 Arctic So
Yeah, Vipers.
maybe expect to see something a little skirmishy, more skirmishy. Yeah, all the Vipers are gone. I kind of, with all those off the table, I kind of expect to see more of a standard skirmishy back and forth game.
What haven't they
That
used?
said, you know, um, Mantra hasn't used those articles, especially. Um, so maybe this is just one of the maps that Mantra was prepared to play, and they've been saving their good brawl mech for this, right? For a
Yeah,
decider game 5.
could very well be
Maybe
the
that's a
case.
mistake. I feel like you need to front load your first drops with your stronger mechs, right? But
I think
I guess we'll see.
5J. What do they have left? Do they have a Shadowcat left? I don't know. They might. I don't think they actually do. I think they've used one on each Grim side and one in Forest.
Double check.
I think
They
that
used 2 on Forest. They used 1 on
so
Grim.
no
So
Shadowcats,
they're out of Shadowcats.
Vulcans, and Phoenix Hawks. I guess they
Haven't seen
have.
any Phoenix Hawks. Yeah, I expect to see Vulcans and/or Phoenix Hawks coming out here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Like honestly, there's not a lot of other really strong skirmish lights right now that we see often. Yeah, no Incubuses, no Vipers, no
Looks like
Lanners.
5J is going green here.
They have not locked yet.
Alpha
So
Bravo
oh,
for
there we go.
5J, Alpha Bravo Charlie for Mantra. Of course, the Lances don't tell us much on this map.
Well, actually, no. On Hibernal, they actually tell quite a bit. I can't remember which one's which. It's not Canyon though. Canyon is like they change it so they all spawn together. On Hibernal, they're
I
spread
don't
out.
know. I feel like you can. I feel like you can spawn your mechs in almost any lance on Hibernal and do a brawl push. So we'll see
Yes,
when they
I agree.
load in here.
I agree if you're the one pushing, but I think you can't put an Annie in the wrong spawn, like to receive. Like it'll
Yeah,
be
true.
too like getting to the right spawn, right? So
And speak of the
and
devil,
speaking
here's
of yeah,
5J with Annihilator, Madcap Mark II, Madcap Mark II, Madcap Mark II, and 3 Phoenix Hawks. So pretty skirmishy and controlly from 5J.
this is a very again similar to the Forest decks. This is greedy. I haven't checked yet, but if Mantra is bringing full send, I think they win. I think they just straight up will dunk them. So let's see.
It's like Mantra's opted to trade again.
Nope, they're bringing trade. 5J, in my opinion, maybe getting like knowing their opponent well. I would say. I think Mantra should take
Yeah,
this
maybe good.
in mind for future like matches. You cannot be this predictable because I definitely feel like on both, well, not both forest drops, so the first forest drop and now this drop, 5J has been taking in a very greedy deck and getting away with it when they would just die to a full send.
Especially on these smaller maps or maps like Forest where there's so much cover, right?
The Phoenix Hawks are even light heavy. They're not even
But
snub. They're not even snub.
you know,
It's
really,
so greedy.
really interesting because I kind of expect some of these former KSG pilots to be more willing to be aggressive. I didn't expect so many tame drop decks out of Mantra today.
Maybe this is still like a preferred, like that's what they enjoy playing more. I certainly don't enjoy brawl pushing nearly as much as playing control games. So could just be like
Yeah,
they're
it's understandable.
yeah, like they don't
The,
want to
the
play
games
brawl
tend to
push.
be a little more drawn out and more interesting and varied in control anyway, right? Things aren't over in 2.5 minutes.
I think that you do just have to mix it up once in a while though, just to like so teams don't have quite a good beat on you. If they haven't pushed at all during this entire tournament, 5J's decks make a lot of sense to me. I don't actually know if that's the case. But from what I remember casting of Mantra, I don't think they pushed at all. So in that case, like 5J doing their homework and bringing really good decks against their opponent, you know, that is part of the game. In the meantime, gonna start trading with these Phoenix Hawks and taking Kappa on the side of 5J. Gonna look for FC at the same time, actually. I don't think they shouldn't be able to get FC, but Mantra got Theta though, which is nice for them.
They shouldn't be able to, but they have so much Overwatch online already on the spine, and then in the trash dump,
Oh, they're gonna send it. They're gonna send it on Windscape. They're gonna go for his lake.
Okay.
And I think they might be able to get it. Oh. See, it's smoking. He does get it. Does get it.
And he's legged.
I like the choice to not commit on it, by the way. It's like, okay, we legged them. That's fine. Let's not commit over into the Mark II Overwatch. Let's take the free W here on legging that Phoenix Hawk and slow it down. Really good decision making from Mantra there. I love the trap as well, the red rotating over there and making a great call to go for that gank. Really, really well played and set up from Mantra there. That's kind of what I expected to see more of, like, all of tonight. Yeah, Windscape just getting shot from Radio Tower by Gwendler here. He's legged, obviously, so it's hard to maneuver. He's going to go down very, very shortly here. Yep, goes down. Pazowski maybe opting... Oh, yeah, he's going to keep rolling. They feel like they have an advantage on this side, and they do. I like this decision. They just need to make sure not to overextend too far out of their Overwatch completely. Winter's also kind of getting beat up a bit. He's still okay. I can't imagine this is XL, so it's probably soon to be halved, but not dead. Webmaster already lost an arm, which is a big deal with AC5s. Oh, no, he didn't lose an arm. I'm sorry. How does he only have 3 AC5s, though? Oh, it's crit. His arm's crit, so almost about to go off. There we go. So now 2 AC5, 2 PPCs only. Not very threatening. Lumineos almost dead. One shot CT. I did have this. No, he didn't even have the Marauder, so Winter's pretty comfortably just looking at the Mark II. Kruger's gonna rotate to try to help him. Old Hasu maybe gonna have something to say about that. I'm not sure if the Annie back here. Probably looking to the right, yeah. So nothing to contest the Stalker. Maybe. Oh, he's gonna switch back over.
Both teams so spread on this map. It's very interesting to see so much action happening across the entire breadth of the map at the same time.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep tabs. It looks like this left, the northern side flank is kind of slowed down. The 4-8
goes down.
Oh, that was XL. No. Okay, light engine.
Continuing to push onto the Stalker.
Yeah. Gwendler kind of out of position right now. He's just completely in the open. These Phoenix Hawks are having a field day.
Lumineos, of course, like one touch. He's about to go down.
Old Hasu should just kill him here.
The Stalker, I think.
He does have him. Actually, I'm not sure if Lumineos is going to go down. He's doing a good job shielding. Old Hasu is going to die from behind.
He just can't keep getting away with it, except he does.
Yeah, good shielding. They're picking off Canadian DJ, though. I think this is still Mantra's game if they just don't feed this trash dump, Annie. It's completely fresh. Like,
yeah, if they isolate that angle, yeah. If they choose to fight inside of it, well, Monk's got plenty of armor to share. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, Lumineos is like one shot. How's Cougar doing? He's legged. And how about the other one? Open, like almost open CT. So, yeah, they just need to not feed Monk. If they feed Monk, they will probably lose this game. But if they just avoid that Annie, I think they're okay. Close drop, though. This is definitely still anyone's game.
Cougar's legged, but he does have range. He could bully this Marauder a bit more here.
Yeah, I like this. Oh, this is going to be huge. If Ivazowski doesn't see Lumineos and dies to him? No, he does see him. Okay, that's a big deal for them. Ivazowski. Oh, did Cougar not realize?
That's huge.
Oh,
Definitely here.
Yeah, that's... Okay, it does go down, though. Self-destruction. Oh, okay.
Up. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that's not what you want.
So back and forth.
Moker also like one-shot CT. Gonna maybe dive on this Phoenix Hawk?
Gwendler both side doors was open and CT soft as well.
This is looking better and better for 5J, honestly. I mean, the Annie's pushed up now.
Caps are dead even. It's whoever wins the fight here. We got so many mechs heavily damaged and leg.
Yeah, Dubix is almost a parallel to Cougar. Like, they're almost the same. So if we like look at those two mechs, what else is there? There's a Phoenix Hawk 7S that's like almost open CT but pretty fresh, and Annie that's almost pretty fresh. On the other side, what we got? We got a Viper. Dubix, by the way, he falls. A leg to Viper with an open side torso.
Up, and Gwendler gets halved as well. This fight actually swinging in 5J's favor.
Yeah, Moker is gonna try to finish this Phoenix Hawk. He does get him. That is huge because it means that maybe he can look for caps. But yeah, Gwenler's gonna go down here. Yeah, and Rabbit's just fresh enough. I think this is 5J's win.
Yep.
It looked really. They had such a good pick on. Was it Windscape at the beginning? I believe on that Kappa side.
Yeah. Huge,
Also,
huge free pick on the Kappa side. They just weren't able to capitalize on it.
did they not cap that, or did they?
I don't think we're gonna see. I don't think we're gonna see any KSG magic out of Mokor here.
Yeah, wait. Did 5J decap Kappa, or did they never cap that? Because this game would look very different.
5J had it, but then Mantra decapped it, but it looked like they didn't finish capping. I
Did
don't
they?
remember if
Oh,
5J met going back there earlier.
I would have to. Yeah, I have to watch that back. Like
We'd have to roll that back.
that's a huge deal because they could play this completely different if they had that.
Yeah. Completely. Yeah, they would have had 5J on a timer eventually.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like, imagine right now if they were up 100,
a little
150 more tickets.
I guess they just got a little overexcited after the getting the leg off of that Phoenix Hawk.
Yeah, you definitely want to grab that cap. That is a huge mistake. If they didn't grab that, I mean, like, I'm still. I don't want to say it for sure. Maybe 5J ran over there and decapped it at some point. They had a Phoenix Hawk, so
I don't recall that.
I don't either. But yeah, I don't want to say something unless I know it's true. You know. I mean, it's still not technically over. It's pretty over, but it's not technically. Does he have enough alpha to like backshot Rabbit here? I don't think so. I was gonna say like maybe a cheeky backshot on the Phoenix Hawk could. He did shut down, so he's gonna try to like go for this backshot. Moker, actually a very smart player. This is probably the best play he has, but it does get seen.
Unfortunately, Rabbit just sees him from that angle.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice try, Mokor.
Look at the caps though right now. I'd have to like, I'd really have to look. Did they skip Kabla? Because that would have been ticking for like what, 3-4 minutes, 5 minutes?
Looking at the stream, yeah, Mantra never capped Kappa after they took the pick.
That's
I'm looking at it right now.
That's
That is brutal.
When would have they gone at like 150 tickets? I think the game would have been like they would have won at this point if they had Kappa during that entire time. No?
That is a big oof.
Well. Close game though. I mean, they just back and forth. Yeah.
5-0.
5J bringing that back, especially after losing Windscape, right? We knew their deck was more greedy, and you can see Monk farmed, but never easy to come back after you lose a light, especially in a big drop like this, even on a small map like this. You basically lost Windscape for free. It was a great gank by Mantra, like a very well executed gank. Wasn't enough though.
It really was.
Oh, was not enough. Good damage, like from all Mantra and stuff. I mean, it was like again a really close drop. It's just wasn't quite enough. But yeah, 5J definitely showing. Yeah, they were the better team today, no doubt about that. Probably, in my opinion, I think a lot of their decks good homework on their opponent most likely, and just like better macro decisions, and that's that. You know, deck advantage.
Really clawing it back from a couple of really close matches there. You know, the first drop and also Hibernal. Playing the in game very well.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. So well played, the 5J for sure. Again, I hope Mantra, and we see them again in like next tournament. I think that I would like to see them mix up their strategies a bit.
You know that,
so they don't get hard countered or like meta games a bit too much. But yeah. Anyways, that's it for us.
Granted, the format of this tournament isn't exactly standard, but it's definitely a very teachable moment for Worlds going forward for Mantra. So you know that team's got a lot of really talented pilots. I expect to see them back and competing at the top level again.
Yeah, I agree. 100% agree. I'm gonna call it there. So thanks for watching, everybody, and thank you for casting with me, Shine.
Thanks for having us, and no problem, man. Always a pleasure.